the most basic thing is the laws that apply to cars apply to bikes. You ride on the right-hand side of the road, not the left. There is a publication by the state of Michigan, what every bicyclist should know if you really want to have a moment to read up. A lot of these websites do list that also. League of Michigan Bikers I know does, which is lmb.org. Get a helmet. I mean, these things didn't exist when we were growing up, and they're lightweight. They don't have to be expensive. If you're not sure how to fit it, take a moment and go to the local bike shop and buy a helmet, have somebody properly fit it. If the bike has been sitting for an excessive amount of time and you're not a comfortable mechanic, take the moment. We have 4 shops in Kalamazoo and Portage. There's a shop in Paw Paw, there's a shop in Galesburg, Augusta. Have somebody look over the bike. But then when you're on the road, it's simply follow the rules of the road like a car. Signal if you're going to turn left. You know, put your arm out. Signal if you're going to turn right. Signal if you're going to stop. And yes, you have the same rights and rights as a car. You just have to follow the same rules as a car. Excuse me. Sorry.
So you need to have a helmet. Put some air in your tires.
Put some air in the tires.
Oil the chain.
Oil the chain, and then beyond that, well, and then yes, ride around the neighborhood first. Don't start out by going to Kalhaven. There's enough. Yes, there are enough bike lanes in Kalamazoo and Portage right now that anybody in those towns or any of the surrounding cities, you can bike the neighborhoods pretty easily, and then get more and more adventurous. The pleasantry of the off-road lanes is, yes, you're not competing with the cars. So maybe you go to the linear park or one of the off-road lanes in Portage. Maybe you just part of the Kalhaven. You don't have to go to South Haven. Go to Kendall. Go to Alamo. Make it a simple ride. It doesn't have to be a big deal.
Could you say something about, and using your kind of interest as a mechanic here, about some of the new biking technology? I mean, bikes are they have some new innovations that maybe weren't present 20 or so years ago. There seem to be a lot more gears. There's more bells and whistles. Are these things good? And what are some of the new innovations?
The professional industrial designer is going to speak here a little bit. Some of the things are what we call feature creep. It's the same thing. It's the same reason you have 10 buttons on your dishwasher and 20 cycles on your washing machine. Some things are sold, oh look how many things this can do, and they're not always necessary. When I was buying my son his first real bicycle, shall we say, and it was a 24-inch bike, I was trying to get one with hub gears, the hub shifters, and not derailleurs, because he's going from a small single-speed coaster brake bike, and then the choices after that are hand brakes and multiple gears. That's quite a jump. You don't need any of these things, with the exception of a few hills in Kalamazoo, Maple Street, Howard Street, a few hills like that. You can do fine if you have a 3-speed or 5-speed hub shifting bike. These are the kind of things that have the internal shifters that you just click and you shift. You don't even have to be moving. If you do have gears, you don't have to have 9 and 10. All my bikes are 7 and 8 geared bikes. This speaks about how many gears are on the back wheel. You just count your sprockets. And the reason I haven't gone to 9 or 10 is I don't feel I need them, and not only does the equipment get more expensive, the chains get smaller. And so yes, if you're a really diehard biker, these things are necessary. But if I was going to go out and just buy a hybrid bike today, something I could ride around city or trail, most of these are 21 or 24 speeds, which means they have 3 chain rings in front and 7 or 8 in the back. And you won't be using all those. The best way to think of it is look at your front set of gears if you have a derailleur in front. You have 1 or 2 or 3. If you have 2 or 3, you basically have high or low. 3 is high, mid, and low. If you're going up a lot of hills, you're going to be on that small ring in the front and then shift through the back range. If you're on the flats, you might be in your mid ring or the largest ring. But you're not jumping back and forth all the time. It's basically, am I going uphill? Am I going flat? Am I going kind of downhill or flat? Don't try to go through all 21 or 24 speeds.
And you need to take with you something to fix a flat tire. So
how far are you going?
A frame pump or a CO2 cartridge or something.
If you're in the city, go. You're close enough to everything that you're pretty much safe to recover. If you're going to do the Kalhaven, I start carrying spares. I'll carry a spare inner tube, and I'll carry a little toolkit that has tire levers on it so I can pop the tire off the rim. I do carry patches, but sometimes it's just easier to throw in a new tube and try to patch something on the trail. Patch it up later if you want to recover the tube. I prefer a pump myself. CO2 cartridges are an option, and a lot of the road bikers who count every gram like these things because it's lighter than a pump. However, if you don't get it right and you go through your CO2 and you haven't gotten that tire inflated, you are in a bit of trouble. Also, there's the environmental issue. What do I do if I can at least put these in the metal recycling bin? But so there's a few pumps out there that can pump a lot of air, and they're rather compact. I mean, yes, I have a floor pump at home that makes it easy, but the trail pumps are pretty good these days.
Dave, we just have a couple minutes left. My guest is Dave Middleton with the Kalamazoo Bike Club, and is there anything else in the remaining time that our viewers should know about the Bike Club? Some of your activities or what they would do if they were interested in joining?
Well, I will direct you to kalamazoobicycleclub.org as our website that gives an overview of the club. Membership is very inexpensive. It's $17 a year for a family or $45 for 3 years. And what we do is we do have a monthly newsletter called the Pedal Press that members will receive, and then it's open to anybody to read after a couple of months. So on our website is 3 years worth of pedal presses that will talk about the different rides. We have the Cal Tour ride. We also are part of the BTR race, which is around the Business and Technology Research at Western, which is where I work, the engineering college.
I watched that one year.
Yeah.
They go fast.
They go fast. That is a race that goes around a closed circuit. So as a spectator sport, that's something. It's not like the Tour de France where you wait and everybody goes by and then it's bye-bye. This occurs in August of this year, just before the start of the school year. So that will describe a lot of the events that we're a part of or we're sponsoring. And then the League of Michigan Bicyclists, lmb.org, has on its website the 2008 Michigan Ride Calendar, which they have both an online version or you can pick up a hard copy at the bike shops. So this will describe a lot of the rides in the area.
I have to tell you just a bit of trivia as we close, and that is the League of Michigan Bicyclists. One of their early presidents was a state senator, Horatio S. Earl, who promoted Michigan building paved roads. It was the bicyclists that were part of the road paving movement in the early 1900s. So,
well, now we're just trying to reclaim a piece of those roads.
Very good. Well, thanks, Dave, for being on my program. Thanks for watching Current Events. I'll be back next month.